Thompson, lead agent on the CT team at Baird and Warner. I'm stationed in Naperville, so I'm going to use Naperville as the basis for this show, and it's a weekly show. I try to do every week. The last 2 weeks for, I'll say, forces beyond my control have kept me from doing it the last 2 weeks, but I'm back again. I'm excited, and hopefully this will get recorded too. So I'm just going to kind of share information from last week and this week, get you caught up, and we're going to get rolling here. So let me share the screen so you can see the wonderful information that I have to share. And let me just get everything set up here. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. All right, so let me just expand this screen here. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to put this here so you have my information. If you want to do a screenshot real quick, it'll be again at the end of the show, and you got all the information right here behind me on my screen when I finish sharing the screen. So onward we go. Let's get to business. So last week, this is going to be really interesting, you guys. So last week, this is what was reported. We had 119 new listings come on the market, maybe a few less, but most listings are selling. So I doubt there's many agents out there that are canceling a listing and posting it new to give it fresh life. So we're going to assume it's pretty close to 119 new listings that came on the market. And there's a new section on this chart that we've never had before. And I'm not sure if you noticed it, private listings. So the MLS has recognized all these pocket listings, and people were putting them in private listings. So now they're adding those stats to this chart. So there's 139 private listings in Naperville that have come on in the last 7 days, or been floating in there for the last 7 days. And then of the 119 and 139 properties, 70 closed. All right. Now, doesn't mean all the private listings are allowing showings. It just means they're getting ready for the market. Some of them are allowing showings, some are not. Do I know what that ratio is? I have no clue. Okay. I couldn't tell you right now. I would have to do a lot of digging to find that out. This week, look at these numbers. Holy smokes, this is completely different. 8 new listings? Really? 8? 8? Oh my gosh. And only 19 new private listings. So that's 27 new listings. That's it. 25 under contract. This is getting to be real slim pickings and tough competition for buyers out there. They don't have a lot to pick from. So this is why we saw the contracts go down in numbers too. So essentially how many were on the market, lingering out there. Maybe, there's some with the price change, or that buyers are making offers on anything that's out there now, just anything. Average list price, a week out past 627 under contract. People are shopping in that 500 range. This last week, 706 was the average, and people have pushed it up $100,000 with their shopping. They're being flexible on price. Okay. So moving along here, that's good to see. Average days on market we saw for the active homes when they were, I'll just skip back, 2 weeks ago, priced at 627. 65 day was the average, and then 71 days for the homes, like right around 500 was the average. And then just this last week, sorry about that, we saw 43 days for a little bit higher priced homes and 36 days for even 599 average. That's pretty good. That's quick, because we all know there's the outliers out there that are skewing the numbers and making the market time higher than what house by house we're witnessing. We're witnessing something very different than 36 days in Naperville. 2 weeks out, we saw the average list price for homes that sold was $468, and the average sale price was $460. So an $8K drop, between list price and sale price. And again, remember, there are the outliers that have been sitting on the market. They don't sell like the other ones. And so there is some negotiations going on. If you're a real savvy buyer, look for the homes that have been sitting on the market, and then you don't have to compete with a bunch of buyers. Okay, little tip there for you guys. Average list price for sold this very last week was 503, and the sale price was 500. Much smaller difference there between the list price of a sold property and the actual sold price of sold properties. Only a 3K difference. It's nothing, nothing at all. So this is interesting too. You know, I'm wondering if these March numbers here was from a year ago. I bet they are, because I had to split it. You can see the little break here. I had to split the graph. So I think I took 2020 numbers and put them in here. These last three are 2021. My mistake is actually good conversation here, because it's showing what a huge, vast difference. Of course, we know back in March, this was COVID. COVID like hit hard, put on the brakes. So not much was happening with home showings. But this year, this we're seeing it was 3.57. Then the last week of March rose up to 3.77. First weekend of April, 2.37. Don't forget it was Easter weekend. So that explains a lot why it was lower than that. And that might also explain why we only saw like 8 listings come on the market. Seriously, I think Easter had a lot to do with that. So a week ago, market action index needle 45, but you know, the weeks prior we were at like 43, 44. This has been kicking up. This has been kicking up. Last year, all through the whole year, it was always hovering around 36, 37. Maybe I saw the needle at 38 once towards the end of the year. Never hitting the 40s, and it's been creeping up. And then this week, 47. And that might have something to do with Easter weekend, not a lot coming on the market. You know, buyers are scooping up what did come on the market. So that might have pushed that needle up to 47. I'll be interested to see if it drops a little bit next week. And then let's just always pay attention to interest rates. This was a week ago. I reported 3.22. What that was reported a week ago for loans, conventional loans. 3.22 for a 30-year fixed, and then a 30-year FHA 2.91. Let's see how they are just this last week. Inched up a little bit more, 3.27, and FHA 2.89. So really pay attention, buyers. These rates are starting to slowly inch up, and you really want to catch them. Which sellers, that's probably why there is a buyer frenzy out there. They want to grab these rates before they keep climbing. So it's a good time to sell. If you are a buyer, here are a couple of myths. First one, it's better to get pre-approved after you find the perfect home to buy. You're never going to win a home in today's market climate. You got to be ready to write an offer hours after you tour the home. And a lender can't get it to you that fast. So you better be sure you know exactly what you can afford to buy, so you know how much you can go over list when you find that home that you like. So really, please have a pre-approval, have a clear understanding what your rates are with your lender, and talk to your lender when you find that home, even though you have the pre-approval, and say, could you just crunch the numbers real quick to make sure how far I can go on price with this house, so you know what your monthly is going to be. All right. Myth number 2, always start with your lowest offer when buying a home. Good luck. Being on the list side and also representing buyers too. When I've got several offers to put in front of my seller and there's one that's really low, that seller's going to go like, that's not a serious buyer. We don't even want to look at that. Is that how you want to be construed or understood by a seller? You're trying to buy their home and you really like? You got to go in there earnest, serious. Show them you really like the house. Don't mess around. All right. If you're going in low and stuff, like you're done. All right. You're out of the game. You've lost your one shot. Move on and learn fast. Do not start with your lowest offer when you're buying a home. Myth number 3, it's better to price your house on the high side when you're selling. All right, you sellers, don't get too obnoxious out there, because buyers are still savvy and there is an emotional big play in this. And when buyers see a seller's asking ridiculously high prices because they're hearing it's a seller's market, that buyer is going to say, like, what kind of, I don't know if I want to work with this seller. They might be super, super difficult, really, really difficult to work with because they're expecting the moon and the sun from the buyer. So sellers, be cautious. All right. Really talk to an experienced agent. You want an experienced agent that's out there really on the field, seeing what's happening so they can give you sound advice on really where you need to price your home so you can take advantage of this market. Remember, I mentioned earlier, there are outliers that are pulling the numbers, skewing the numbers. Those are the sellers that are saying, well, I know my house is totally outdated, but I know it's a seller's market. So I'm going to ask for top market value and add 20% onto that too. You're fooling yourself. All right. There's a threshold to everything in every situation. So please work with an educated, experienced agent. Don't try to go out there and sell it on your own too, thinking like, yeah, well, I just heard you can just put a house out there and you get it sold right away. You still need a lot of strategy and direction to make sure that you go into that seller's market strong. All right. There is a lot of knowledge that you don't have available that an agent that's been working out there in this field can give to you. All right. So if you do want to get that really high price, please use a professional. Otherwise, you won't get it. And don't talk about commissions. And yeah, but the commission's going to cut into it. No, it's not. Because if you're doing this on your own, you're going to be making way less than if you paid commission. You'll still net more even after commission. All right. So just be smart about it. Myth number 4, renovating your house will definitely net you more money when you sell. I'm not going to tell you don't do any renovations, but be smart about it. You know, you don't have to gut your whole house and put in new furnaces and new roofs and windows and all this stuff. Again, this is where you need a trusted agent to advise you on this. An agent has done so many transactions. They know what buyers are going to value and how much more a buyer is going to be willing to pay for whatever it is that you're thinking of doing on your home. So please work with an experienced agent again before you even make decisions on what to do with your house. Even if you're not thinking of selling right away and you're thinking, well, maybe I'll sell in a year. I just absolutely can't take advantage of this market. So what? Still talk to an agent. You know, build a relationship with an agent that you can trust and, you know, use them when you are ready to sell, because, you know, if you're going to ask them for a lot of advice and their time, and all the advice they're giving you is value, is huge value that helps you sell your home. I think that if you're going to use their time, then you should have the courtesy of hiring them. All right. It's courtesy. That's a lot of their time and value. That's really helping you. All right, I said it enough times. Enough with that. All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you this week. I appreciate you watching, really do. And I hope you find this show helpful. This is the purpose of doing it. I'm not trying to sell myself and my services. Just, you know, I just hope this helps you understand the market better, helps you make wise, educated decisions if you're on the fence whether to sell or buy. And if you just need resources, you can reach out to me. I don't mind. That's totally fine. I like to be helpful. You got my number and my email address and website right here on the screen behind me. And ignore the referral agent to agent part. Just ignore all of that. I was doing some reaching out to agents because I network across the country, and it's just a quick way for them to get my information. We communicate with each other. So whatever, I'm not perfect. I don't have things lined up right all the time. I'm very busy, but I still always try to make time to do this show. I hope you're having a good laugh, okay? I know I'm laughing at myself for sure. So anyways, hope you're doing great, enjoying the nicer weather that we're enjoying, you know, experiencing now. Let's hope that it continues. Okay. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week. You guys take care. Bye-bye.